brain slews, slick with ectoplasmic juice. Ecstatic energy, a fire that fuels our memory. With genealogy, with spiritual topography. Questions for your answers, we are data necromancers. I took your advice.
Yeah, babe, what was it?
I drank 3 beers, but then I ate a whole pizza and I drank a Gatorade. So I feel decent.
Good.
Just kind of slow.
You depleted all electrolytes.
Oh my what?
It was funny because I was like, you're going on a date on Monday. So I was worried about Tuesday morning for you. And now it's Thursday morning. Right?
It is.
Okay, good.
True. Well, we don't really drink on date or at all.
It's so nice.
It's so nice. We
I
stay
don't
up.
know
We stay up
why.
really late.
Yeah.
But we don't drink, so I'm sleepy, but more like myself.
Sharp.
Yeah.
More Sharpay.
Yeah. What's on your noggin, darling?
I know. I fucking we're getting closer because as you see, everything's set up.
Yeah.
There was several discussions with Lucas about, hey, what makes sense? When should we do this?
Yeah.
I can't have both kids here. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, we got to sync it up with the nap. And when's Ruby going to be gone? This is the only hour of the week that she's gone.
Yeah.
So things vibratory essences are being hired.
Definitely.
Which is important. But then I knew I wanted to touch on fucking Strodes and shit because you found somebody on Instagram that just blows my mind. Like she posted one today. It was like the top 5 cities for NPCs. It's just like this.
My friend Patrick sent me that. He was thinking of moving here or moving to Austin or Houston or something. But yeah, please go on.
And you can tell it's like somebody on the Discord, I think it was Resident, like posted all these channels that talk about that and like how fucked America's city planning is and the lack of zoning laws and how it's terrible for pedestrians. Then so I start jumping in that, and then you send me that, and then my motorcycle mechanic sends me, he's like, dude, have you ever heard of Not Just Bikes? And I was like, no, what's that? And he goes, he tears every city apart and like goes over everything. He's like, I watched that shit too. And then suddenly like this collective consciousness,
we all arrived at the same point.
And then I saw like a article on CNN that was like, these zoning, and you're like, yeah. It's like
we're converging.
It's like you're swimming on the surfboard of what everybody's talking about, and then suddenly you stand up and suddenly like everybody's kind of
riding the same wave.
I think we have, look at that, a sleeping baby.
What the fudge?
This baby, Ruby, was not a child that I could sleep train. She would scream for 50 minutes. I watched the clock once. It was like 40 minutes, and she would just scream herself into oblivion.
Damn.
But then like I went on vacation with my cousin Alex, and she like picked up her 1-year-old and like put her in the playpen and then closed the door, and I was like, what the fuck did you just do? You're not spending an hour putting her down? And she's like, no, she hates when I'm in the room. And now I get it. I now have a baby that's like, if I sit in there with her, I can tell she's distracted by my presence.
She's like, are you gonna fuck off so I can go to sleep?
And I was like, 50% of kids are like this. 10% of kids are like Ruby. Where it's like, I remember driving the car for 2 hours. She screamed at the top of her lungs the entire time.
She's got so much going on inside her little noggin.
Yeah, and it doesn't stop. It's only like gearing up.
Well, she's gonna learn how to control.
This is what I wanted to talk about today because it's right up her alley.
Ruby alley?
Talking about the
poopy diaper?
Collective consciousness.
You think that's where we also pull our like food choices that we always sync up with? Like how you and Aaron both had short ribs on the same night?
Please. So we have our Let's Eat Austin meeting, which we need to have way more often.
I want it weekly or bi-weekly.
And then Aaron was like, yeah, I went over to my friend's house and they made short ribs. And I looked at him and I was like,
what?
You made short ribs last night? I made short ribs last night.
What the fuck?
And then you guys, the last time that happened, you guys ate crab cakes and fucking artichoke dip on the same fucking
that was
day.
pretty nuts because it was
Crab
2 dishes.
Cakes and artichoke dip on the same day.
Yeah, it was
unrelated. You guys were not hanging out.
We were in different places. We didn't discuss
people.
Dinner plans or anything. It was so funny because I was like, I had pretty good spinach and artichoke dip and a decent crab cake sandwich, but I don't know why they put red pepper in the crab cake. And he was like, I had a crab cake and spinach and artichoke dip too. And just like smiling.
Remember when didn't Aaron like get his toes painted and they matched our logo like the same day we didn't see our logo and it was going to be revealed?
I don't remember that. I thought he did that on purpose.
No. Aaron's like always on. He sent us some fucking article and it matched the thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
And Aaron is a scientist, or he's an engineer rather. So he's
like a rectangle,
but he also does a lot of drugs. So he's like the ultimate best of both worlds.
He's our alien concubine.
He's our alien concubine. And meeting him and hearing him talk, it's just a miracle that any of us have met.
Can you imagine him making cinnamon buns for his alien overlords?
Yes, I can. I absolutely can. I can picture him in a very cute Princess Leia.
Yeah.
With his hair in a top knot and like JVN.
Fuck yeah. He has huge JVN energy.
I wish he would
embrace the non-binary clothing stuff.
I know, because he looks so uncomfortable in. He's not always like that anymore. I feel like he's laxed ever since going to Costa Rica more. But it's like, dude, put on a fucking skirt. He loves
those big flowy
cargo pants.
He loves those big flowy like harem pants. Love that boy to death.
Full Metal says, do you fart on your first date? I remember.
Yes. You sit on their lap.
Naked.
Sit on their lap and fucking let the cheeks flap.
This was the first time Lucas came over to my house. I had like a sweet little bachelor pad and
with guns.
There was guns on the wall. I own guns. Especially as a single female, I definitely had to have guns. But like, we were in my apartment and my stomach, it's like the pain. I need to go to the ER. I don't know what they're gonna do, but like this hurts so bad.
Wait, on your first date with Lucas?
This was the first time he was at my house, second date.
Oh, okay.
And he was just really impressed that I had my shit together. He was like, oh, your house is cool. It wasn't like full of live, love, laugh,
right.
tchotchke, fucking basket weaving, gray bullshit, dumb stuff.
Taupe.
Yeah, taupe and mauve. The mauve. My dad always called that like Midwestern, aunt's house stuff, mauve duck. He's like, this house is very mauve duck.
Damn. I
ducks,
love that.
Ducks are a big thing in Minnesota.
I fuck with ducks. Mainly,
in terms of
mainly
decor.
geese. Oh, yeah.
But, I was like, hey, babe. And he's like, yeah. And I was like, Wah! And I was like, oh. It was like, it was either that or go to the ER. And he was laughing. And I was like, now we should leave.
Let's clear out of here.
Now we should
Because the miasma is setting in.
We should leave the perimeter right now.
That's how you know you got the real one.
I remember being on this long date and I was like, I have to go. I need to go right now. And he was like, oh no, stay. I want to show you. And I was like, no, I got to go. And I remember walking to my car and like as I put my hand
shitting your pants
on the inside door handle. Wow! And like the whole pole, like just that stretch too. And then I instantly felt better. And I was like, do you want to keep hanging out?
And you wonder where Lydia gets her monster farts?
Erica's like, are you concerned? And I was like, it's not the amount of poop, that comes out of her butt that creates a blowout. It is the force, because there is one perfect 2 centimeter wide strip of shit that goes straight up and out.
She's a
It's
blaster.
Beautiful. It's perfectly fucking. I need to send you a picture. It's like
Dookie
a
Blaster.
ruler.
That's her new nickname.
Dookie Blaster.
In fun times. Dookie Blaster. I'm not all for giving kids nicknames related to poop or shit.
Murphy, I'm gonna put you in a space cannon and I'm gonna shoot you into the sun.
Lay down. No me toques. No me toques.
Okay, so the only thing that I have to bring to the table, but I'm sure
You just brought us 50 things.
Yeah, I didn't even. Sure, there's 800 more.
Yeah.
With CNN, is it time to revolutionize the toilet?
All
All that was going on in the world, this is the first news article I clicked on because nothing else will change.
Is it about toilet paper?
No, so they've had these before where you pee in one thing and you poop in another thing. I've stayed in like an Airbnb that did that, and the poop, essentially it's like a hamster toilet. Like you poop in cedar and then you dig it out. But the cedar, go lay down. But the cedar is like so pungent that you're like cleaning out a litter box.
Yeah.
Now it to me is great because it will force you to eat better. Like if you're having explosive diarrhea,
is that bad for your litter box?
Yeah.
What? So it's non-clumping litter.
It's pencil shaving. So if you have diarrhea in that, it's like it's not the same.
Right.
Maybe there's a way you could do it in like pellets or something.
I've scooped a litter box that has those kind of cedar pellets, and the idea is to scoop, like you physically remove the poop, but then to get the pee, you like scoop up and then shake out over the trash can all the broken bits, because when those little pellets come in contact with liquid, they break apart. So the goal is to keep the full pellets in the box. This was at Madeline's house. She had to like send me a YouTube video on how to scoop the litter box. She's like, it's not a regular litter box. I was like, okay, I'll figure it out. I'm ready for the toilet revolution, but I think it's going to be tamped down by big toilet paper.
Did you know 43% of the world does not have access to a toilet?
That is fucking almost half. So what do they just squat and pot?
Well, I was thinking like every time I go to Mexico, you can often be caught, like when we'd go to the countryside and stuff. It's not like I had to pay to use a toilet. So what other people are using, I don't know. And it was like $1 or something, but
still very inconvenient when you've got a dookie blast to have to fucking shell out any money for it.
But there was something cool in here, like, because I want to know. It's like, yeah, the news will always bring the question to the table, but then nothing ever happens. So there was actually scientists that are actually working on something, and they don't think even in 10 years that the American household will incorporate this, but they're like public bathrooms, climate change. So California is now enacting like stricter laws like
on water conservation.
Yes, like because they have had historic droughts.
Yeah.
And flooding causes sewer systems to back up, and it's not really reliable. And this way that we shit in our drinking water, which I hate, is not a sustainable practice.
It's also fucked that so much, I don't know about so much of California, but there are so many cities that don't have their own water. They have to like steal it from another place and redirect it with dams and shit like that.
So this is what I wanted to bring up was, so the question being asked by Change Water Labs, a startup led by a scientist, blah, 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 is patenting an evaporative material that aims to reduce the volume of waste buildup by as much as 97% in a single day. We have developed a technology that we lovingly term shrink wrap for crap. It It is low cost and entirely waterless portable toilet dubbed the iThrone, which I fucking hate. Like, ugh. It's the same.
Like little eye?
Like got milk won't fucking die. It's like it is the lowest
It's so cringy.
fruit on the tree to be for a copywriter to like, let me grab this 35-year-old thing. Don't think.
No, it's always about nostalgia porn.
So, it stores human waste in a pouch lined with a proprietary material, and what's left still needs to be collected and treated. It's recyclable, not neutralized, but only needs to be retrieved once a month or every 2 months.
Do you anticipate any... Because, like, what happens when you pee into the pooper?
They didn't talk about... I like the shrink wrapping idea.
Yeah.
And they also talk about, like, the wasted... Oh, that's crazy. Okay. The current version of the iThrone doesn't yet put excrement to good use, which they want because there's, like, nitrogen in poop.
Yeah, it could be fuel as well.
They've been trying to figure that out for a long time. But I also don't think, like, our diets warrant that. Where are all those sirens coming from?
I don't know. Maybe it's the shit police.
Future versions may be able to turn evaporated moisture from urine or feces into potable water or convert the remaining stored waste into renewable energy.
That's basically how a still suit works in Dune. It collects your waste and reclaims the water, and you drink it in a little tube.
We gotta get on this shit. Of course, it took climate change for anybody to start enacting any change. I know that Bill Gates, even though he's the devil...
Bill Gates is the devil?
Yeah. He has been trying to figure out how to get a toilet to people who don't have access to toilets.
That's one of his philanthropic outreaches.
Yeah, he's got a lot, but that's one of them. Yeah, but he talks about these aren't just for low income or distressed fragile populations. You could do public sanitation, green building, transportation. There's so many places where people are tied to septic tanks.
Great for parks.
Great for parks, yeah. It talks about how San Francisco now requires new buildings larger than 100,000 square feet to have on-site wastewater recycling systems due to worsening drought conditions.
Yeah, it seems like with our understanding of the water cycle that reclamation of moisture should be so much further along technologically. Because, like, there's so much water trapped in everything. And I guess we've been sort of fooled into thinking that it's eternally abundant.
I think the 50s was the apex in a lot of ways. And that wasn't that long ago, and its effects are lasting, right? Like, you now have everything in one home, and, you know, that was there. You know, we got to that next level.
The height of American luxury.
But now I have an $800 dryer, and it doesn't dry anything. You know, it's like I'm ready for a new solution.
Yeah, instead of building obsolescence into the design.
That has to die.
That has to go away. There's got to be a way that we can have an economy that's not built on making shit.
My question for the Discord as well. Oh God.
That was her question.
I'm gonna need to grab some water.
Decode it.
Thanks, babe. Is booty... Oh shit, what was my question? Everybody I've talked to is terrified of going to the grocery store. I would say my trips in the last 2 years the price has doubled. Like, my grocery bill is double what it used to be. And meanwhile, companies are posting record profits. And I'm like, okay, shit. You're now fucking with people's food? Like, how can we go backwards? How can we... Thank you, baby. How can we, like, fucking say, hey, I know you want to charge... And they keep blaming shit that doesn't affect us. and I feel like I'm not getting the real reason, probably because companies maybe had to boast sales for a little bit, but then they're like, well, wait, you want us to charge less, but people are still buying it. So now they're just like not doing that. It's like, what are we doing? Yeah, they won't admit that we're in a recession. They won't admit the real number of inflation. It's like,
because those are scare terms for the economy.
Yeah, and they're political now. So
Right.
if you say, oh, during the Biden administration, we're actually in a really big recession and inflation is up 25%, then
everybody's going to stop
gonna
spending money.
blame the president. Everybody's going to freak the fuck out. It could be catastrophic for the stock market. Murphy, for real?
Go.
Like, oh, this nail polish tastes really good.
Lay down, brother.
So it's like, what do we do? I mean, obviously you will notice that people are not going out to eat. I was researching that a little bit. People are not.
Entrees are
Going out to eat.
$30.
That is
Entrees are $30.
well, not
Fucking
fuck you.
mushroom, 4 ounces of beach mushrooms at HEB is $9.98. That's a fungus that had grown on a piece of wood.
I mean, it's gonna set it. I'm not gonna say it's gonna topple or collapse, because things can just, the elasticity of issues nowadays is propped up and made more malleable by debt and like the media and whatnot. But it's like, okay, I'm gonna stop buying everything. We can grow mushrooms.
We can grow mushrooms.
It's also not that hard.
We can fix our shit. I mean, it's like this. It has been a long time coming, I feel like, because in Brave New World, there's this saying, ending is better than mending. But I feel like there's a lot of people in our lives who are more focused on the mending, or like the reusing, and like the finding the buying something that's high quality so you can hold on to it, as opposed to just trashing items and buying new ones once every few months. It's just like, it's not what we want anymore. I don't think we're as focused on like how things appear anymore, or maybe it's just our own aging and maturing. I can't really speak for all of us. Maybe Gen Z is a little bit more focused on what is Gen Z focused on environmentally? Do they care? I feel like Gen Z does care, but they're not sort of doom and gloom about it.
We need to interview a Gen Zer.
Are they action oriented? Wait, if someone was born in 98, are they a Gen Zer? Or are they still a millennial?
I think you're still a millennial.
1998, where were you?
Why is Gen Z Bible the first thing that pops up?
Oh, because it's a stupid
No,
video.
yeah, 97 to 2012.
Oh, so they are Gen Z?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was about to say something.
About Al Gore?
Didn't
He
die?
tried to tell us about the inconvenient truth.
Scientists have been fucking screaming since the early 80s.
Well, this was a politician who wanted to make it part of his main platform.
Nobody wants to hear it. Nobody wants to hear it because it's such a complex thing that requires a lot of upheaval. God damn it, it's gone.
You got fooped.
I got fooped.
She got bank fooped. You know that thing at the bank? It's like a high pressurized pneumatic tube or something.
You nailed it, babe.
And you put like the little chamber with your check in it. And
There's a big one over my house.
There's a huge
giant one over my house.
Whenever we get ideas of things that are so edgy or like so forward thinking, the powers that be of the bank foop, they try and steal it from us. This is why we need tinfoil hats.
Can we make like legit like micro or motherboard pyramid hats like Aleister Crowley, but like motherboards.
Yes.
I've been feeling that lately. I'm like, why do I not have a nun's outfit but like done the way that I wanted?
I think you need 100% more costumes.
Yeah, I think I do too.
Because it's so fun to dress up into wacky things.
I think I sent you, it was like an Instagram ad, but this chick was fucking super done up and she had like the big encrusted third eye.
Ooh.
And she was like, this is how I dress. And I was like, I kind of want to dress like that. Like, oh,
Getting dressed is fun.
I kind of want to do my face in that makeup at least once a week. Like,
hell yeah.
it was really inspiring to see that, because if you and I were given time and resources to like dress like that, I think we would have crazy fucking.
Let's fucking put it on our real day. Do a bunch of costume shit.
There's this, maybe I'll post it or I'll show
We can come up with skits.
Oh shit, what's her name? And like this woman's really inspiring too. And it's considered like artists, but I'm like,
Are you pulling up the third eye lady?
I'm pulling up this other lady, who's also really inspiring. I guess it's like LARPing, kind of, right? Like you're gonna pretend to be.
I feel like that's when I get dressed, I'm thinking like, okay, who do I want to be today? You know? Because like putting on work clothes is really important for me to get into the work mindset. Putting on MAWPOD clothes helps me get into the MAWPOD mindset. I feel like getting dressed is different based on what you intend to do in that body, you know. Like if we were going to the mall, I would put on a mall outfit. I need to get more stuff that has fringe. Sometimes I want to wear fringe.
I found her.
Whoa.
So this chick, I think she's Russian. So she does like Slavic. Sorry guys, I'm sick again for the 800th time.
Her kids are vectors of germs.
But she,
Don't kiss me.
I would fucking wear that. Like,
That's
I
sick.
would go to HEB like that.
That looks popish. Doesn't it look like vaguely Catholic?
Yeah, I would just. She uses her mom too as like there's something about
Let me see that one.
putting like older women, dressing them up that feels right.
That's so sick.
Isn't that sick? I want to make one of those. And that's my new YouTube video.
I love the ball
outfit.
bearing hair.
So sick.
That's so sick.
And she just,
I love how it's like futuristic Baroque. Like it looks
like
sort of.
there's a lobster in that.
That is amazing. That person should definitely be, if they're not already, like a costume designer for.
She's a big artist.
Oh, yeah.
She's like really famous. You know, there's something mandala-y about it too. Like if you're sitting there
Like
with
the repetitive
each bead
stuff.
just gluing or sewing. And
I think making costumes is super fun, even though I made the garbage dress. I had
You're
the vision
really good at it,
of the
too.
dress in my head and like the shape that I wanted it to be. And then I also was working off of the materials that I had and sort of being inspired by the materials. But then doing the goose costume was really fun too. I don't know. I just feel like that sort of costume design stuff mixed with garbage is kind of where I've wanted to take Rubbish Cook. In like the apocalyptic kitchen realm, like I want those types of costumes in my videos.
sometimes I get a little bit bummed that I didn't creatively blossom until after I had kids, because I have no time.
Right.
Because I'm like, oh, I want to do that. I'm
But you won't always have
like,
kids.
when? No, and they'll get older. You know, Lucas and I talk about that because we had a really, really hard day. Even yesterday, it was really, really, really hard. I'm going to get her in a fucking go-kart as soon as possible.
Yes.
And she's going to be an F1 driver, because the way
Yes.
she drives her Jeep, She Tokyo drifts into shit all the time and stops like a half a centimeter away from crashing it. And to her, it's nothing. She's fearless. She's like, whatever. I was like, oh, I'm going to make sure that you race cars.
I saw the other day, Raising Cane's has a female NASCAR driver or whatever. And I was like, I want a fucking t-shirt with that female Raising Cane's NASCAR car on it and just like raining chicken tenders down. But yeah, of course, Ruby needs to be fully engaged, and that type of endeavor takes all of your focus. That's the secret of getting a handle on your bouncing monkey mind. Do something really fucking hard and really fucking exhilarating that you really, really need to pay attention to, or else you're toast.
And then on top of that, she won't eat, so it's like you're running on fumes. Which I'm like, you need this for your brain. It's not about your, like, if you are depleted.
Does she like nuts?
My anxiety goes crazy. Yeah, she likes nuts, but it's like anything that we've had in the house, like any kid, it's like I don't want that. We always have that. They want something new and different. I'm gonna get those fucking
rice,
the punch for the seaweed, the little faces.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Because I've got all the little shapes that you can cut out.
Awesome.
She loves that.
Cool.
I'm like, oh, we can put little faces on this because you just need to eat.
You gotta make it novel.
Just eat.
And interesting. Oh, Ruby June. What a dreamboat.
Lucas nicknamed her the parent breaker. And I was texting my Aunt Lisa. I was like, there's something... her DNA is designed to come into mine like a key and unlock the thing that drives you the most crazy.
Oh, yeah. I've heard this before from a lot of mothers and their children.
Because, like, the way that they get under your skin is so... Like, when Erica tells me her woes, I'm like, that sounds like it was designed for you. Like, because it's so complex and so nuanced. It's not... You're like, oh.
Oh, God.
Oh. And I tell Erica mine, and she's like, I couldn't do that. There's no way. That's only you. Only you could do that. I'm like, I'm noticing that.
This is your shit.
I want to know, though, if I adopted a child, would they kind of like get absorbed in that and be able to piss you off in the same way? Or are they their own thing? You know, are they their own key in a different lock?
Yeah, that's really interesting. Whether, you know, like nature versus nurture. How long would you get to nurture the adopted kid? From birth?
I want to know. What if I adopted an 8-year-old? Would it change? Would it morph? You know, like, would it evolve into...
Would they want to torment you?
Would they want to torment me? Would they not?
Maybe
Would
there's
they just...
something about the biological connection where the kid wants to torment you.
I feel like it's not necessarily torment. It is your chance to evolve.
That is similar to something that I wrote down. May I?
You may. Did you get a new notebook?
This is my current notebook. I've had
okay.
I've had it for a while. Look, I'm almost done February.
Look at that. Show it to the camera.
I'm almost done February here.
Fucking beautiful.
It's been such a... Look at all the turds. See the turds?
Oh my God.
They have different expressions. I have to like gamify my life in order to get myself to do anything. So I get to color in a little splotch anytime I perform a behavior.
Oh God. Just trying to show the poop.
Show the poop. Show the poop. So yeah, now I need to work on my March bits. I heard baby.
Baby time. Poochie nanny nanny, poochie bang bang, poochie nanny nanny, poochie bang bang. We found out that our neighbor, so there's 2 boys, one of them's around Ruby's age, and then their second is maybe a year older than Lydia. And we found out that the older boy calls his younger brother Puchanito. And we started Puchanani as like, that was just pulled from the ether.
The first time I saw Puchanani, I was like, Puchanani!
And then Lucas like turned around later that day and he goes, Puchanani. She's a Puchanani.
She is a Puchanani.
I can hold her while you read and then give her back.
Aw. Bye, Puchanani. I'm so excited to finish editing the episode where she's in it.
I'm almost done with our Hannah episode, and it fucking dawned on me that this is a record for my kids. MAWPOD, because Ruby's gotten bigger through the years. Lydia has gotten bigger. You were like, she's still small. I'm like, but she's not as small as she once was.
She's so strong and independent.
Hi, Poochie Nanny.
Okay, so I just finished reading this book called Life is in the Transitions, Mastering the Art of Change at Any Age. And I made some notes. So I think that we've sort of been trained throughout the progression of our species to believe that we are living a linear life. Like there are steps in our individual evolution throughout our life period. Mm-hmm. Like you're a kid, and then you go to school, and then you get a job, and then you get married, and then you have a family.
And then you die!
And then you fucking die!
You fucking die, and you're a pile of cum!
But then return to the cum whence you came. And then you're trained to sort of see anything that knocks you off that path, that trajectory, as an aberration, or like a disruption in the normal flow of things. But if you sort of reframe that, like knowing that you will come across terrible things, like there will be, in the book they call them life quakes, like things that absolutely knock you on your ass and make you totally reorient.
The point of life is to come across. Lucas and I were just talking about how the amount of teenagers in therapy has like quadrupled because the parents go, they're depressed, here,
do something,
and it's like,
fix this kid.
Depression is like part of understanding who you are, and then so all these kids are being prescribed shit at an alarming rate, more than, because parents want a pill and they're busy.
The easy fix. They
gotta work. And I'm like, because we've homogenized culture and scrubbed it and pasteurized it, there is no collective adversity. So now you're raising a bunch of kids who are addicted to their phone and video games, and that literally morphs your brain exactly like doing heroin. And so now that's their purpose.
It's scary.
So life quakes. That's how everything should be reformatted.
Yeah.
Hey, you're gonna go on the hero's journey, and it might be addiction. It might be
the hero's journey.
Losing a leg. It might be something, a psychological ailment.
It might be getting a divorce.
It might be your kid fucking doing something you never thought they would, and I don't know, it's heartbreaking and terrible,
but it's in those moments, which is what made me remember it, it's in those moments that you grow yourself, you grow your capacity for different things, you learn. Those are the moments that rock tumble you, like you can't stay outside of the rock tumbler. It's always going to come for you. Okay, so it says, disorder is not a mistake. It's a design element. Look for openings where you can learn. I remember when I was like 15 or something, I was over at my friend Brittany's house, and I was telling her, like, instead of freaking out when something bad happens, or like getting frustrated or getting upset, I was like, you could just say, I am learning from this new experience, instead of, losing your shit and having a tantrum. And her stepdad, like, overheard me say that or something, and he was like, we don't want any of that weird witch shit in here. Like, what is weird and witchy about having control over your emotional reactions?
Because you're a girl saying that.
I'm learning from this new experience. He was a fucking psycho.
Ugh.
He was so yucky.
Well, didn't Brittany end up going down the wayward path?
Yeah.
Because her fucking dad was her
stepdad.
Even worse.
So bad.
Oh, no.
But, so, bad feelings, disappointment, embarrassment, irritation, resentment, anger, and despair show us where we're stuck. It's like those are the moments where you need to analyze what's actually hitting you and figure it out. Instead of, my thing is just to escape. I always escape through, imagination or smoking weed or, whatever. But instead just like sitting with that yuckiness and sort of letting it integrate and
process and observe and
allow it to change you.
How many people have you met are pure denial?
Oh,
everybody.
It's like 85%.
I mean, pure denial of an issue, pure denial of a problem. Their ego is the most tantalizing aspect of operating in reality.
Yeah, it's scary. I mean, I feel like I lived my first 30 years or so in denial. Or maybe like...
Wait, really?
Maybe like 20 through 30.
Denial of what? You don't have... If it's too
just,
personal...
No, like denial of who I am and what I want, I guess. I feel like
that's the journey of your 20s.
Yeah, exactly. You have to like fall down and get exploded and then rebuild, build back better.
All the time.
It never stops.
It never stops, and it should never stop. And people, I think they call it like the lightning moment. You're gonna wake up one day. You heard that. You're gonna wake up one day and you're just gonna be motivated to do the random thing, the thing that you always thought about doing. You're just gonna wake up one day and it's just gonna click.
I feel it,
and it's like, no,
nah.
It feels the moment feels like you're doing the wrong thing.
Yeah, it physically hurts to force yourself to do hard stuff.
It makes you cry. It's like putting sandpaper on your brain.
I don't like this. This isn't comfortable.
But I promise that like once you do that once and you're like, wow, that was the worst thing I've ever had to go through. But wow, my whole life is so much easier.
Yeah.
I will speak.
It's like
with
leveling up.
Anonymity. But like somebody I knew recently, oh my god, you stink. I did have Parmesan last night.
Stinky baby. She's like, what? It's your fault.
You ate the cheese.
You don't want to eat the cheese.
Lost something very important. Couldn't find it. And just immediately plays the victim. Why is this happening? Why me?
All like, bad stuff happens to me.
That whole mentality is like...
This is what we were talking about earlier with
you guys came here for the farts, right?
When Whitney farted on her second date with her husband. Yeah, baby, let her rip.
The red pill. That every time I see red pill now, I think of that fucking
parking lot pilled.
He's parking lot pilled. Oh.
I don't have great control of the pilled slang. I don't really know what it means to be parking lot pilled.
Red pill means like you wake up to the truth. Like you see
I know that, yeah, red pill versus blue pill, like Matrix. But how do you apply the pill to like a parking lot? Oh, like you know the truth about parking lots now? Okay, I got it.
You NPC chud. I'm gonna learn so much more about the internet just from following her.
It's exciting.
It is exciting.
A new source
of laughter.
So humans make meaning, and I was wondering if that had to do with our big juicy brains and like the inherent plasticity of our brains. Like when one piece of it goes bunk, another piece will sort of like rev up and take over for it. Do you think that sort of malleability and adaptability is the source?
It's the whole reason we've gotten this far. Do I think it's the source of creating meaning?
Yeah.
That's a really good question.
Because like even when you have a memory of a specific event and you recall it, but you don't, like your brain sort of automatically fills in the gaps with something that would be meaningful to you specifically.
You are bringing up what I meant to bring to the pod, and I will next week.
Oh shit.
I just started watching a Netflix documentary about the French cult leader who said, you guys think there's some big fucking white guy in the sky watching what you do. It's not that. That's just some man-made bullshit. We're actually an alien experiment. And I haven't finished it yet because that's about to go into some like rapey territory, and when you start proclaiming I'm the prophet, it's all downhill from there.
Oh, I see.
But he was like, believed in aliens, he communicated with aliens, and then he made all of his followers look at their own butthole.
Look at your own butthole for what?
To remind you that like it was because they were talking about how pent up Catholicism French people were, like
don't ignore your stink hole.
That it was so liberating.
Uh-huh.
These people had grown up in very strict Catholic homes, and now they got to like look at their butthole.
Yeah.
It was like the most liberating thing. But the way he talks about aliens creating us, and like that's always been my thing. I'm like, people think that we're so right, and I was like, we are so weird. We are so fucking weird.
Oh, like based on the natural world? Like
Yeah.
we're an extreme aberration.
In this magic book I'm reading now too talks about like, you just think that we just popped up from apes with really no explanation. Like they start poking the theories that white men in the 15th, 16th, 17th centuries were like, this is how it is. Don't ever look at it ever again.
We figured it out.
We finally
figured it out.
Everybody, this will never change.
Mankind is the pinnacle of all creation.
And it just kind of talks about losing that mysticism or
The human-centric, or like
Yes.
what is that thing we were talking
fucking
about?
forgot. We've talked about it a million times. The
Human supremacy, the myth of human supremacy.
Uh,
Homo sapien.
and I'm like, I would join that fucking or that cult in a heartbeat, because like we are so fucking weird. We shit, we wipe our butts, we cry, we pull meaning. I talk to dead people. I can't explain it, but it all feels very, and I think we cope by saying, is this a simulator? We like to, it's normal to compare it to maybe computers,
Something
man-made, because it's comfy and cozy, but at the same time the fragility and the insecurity that people get from, I don't know, just being curious. Just being curious. We're just
Being curious
I don't know
and
the
not
answer.
knowing.
I don't know, but I hate how people like refuse to look at stuff. But I think that answer of where we derive our meaning from, to me, because you're asking me and I am vulnerable on the MAWPOD, is buried in why we were created. And I don't know why we were created, and I don't know where it came from or what fucking cosmic orgasm spasm turned itself inside out and exploded into science that we can barely comprehend on a timeline that is, we are designed to not understand, because it is so fucking insane and much bigger than us. That's where it's buried, babe. But like,
that's hitting me,
It's like every time we dive in and we look at it, it gets bigger and crazier and more unfathomable and statistically impossible. And this, things get fucking weird and we just go, oh no, you know.
But do you think that the meaning is real?
Do I think the meaning is real?
Because if everyone on planet Earth has the same tendency and capacity to make meaning for their own individual life or their family or their, you know, larger cause, their religion, everybody has their own version of the truth. How could there be one all-encompassing, meaningful, truthful statement about why we were created that fits everybody?
Right, because I think it goes beyond comprehension and beyond language and beyond expression.
Yes. But you think that we were created for a specific reason?
That I don't know, because the aliens coming down and saying, hey, you guys, you got to stop doing XYZ. This is really detrimental. And being covert about it is like common across times and globes. And I think angels are a part of that. And
for sure.
Yeah, and I think stuff in the Bible was definitely extraterrestrial. And Ezekiel, it's described in the Bible. You might know more the Ezekiel, the
big
ship,
flying machine.
the flying machine in the book of Ezekiel. Like reading that, I read that recently at somebody's house, and I was like, oh, this is where ancient astronaut theorists kind of, you know, that exploded into a whole like wacky world. But reading that word for word in the Bible is like, does anybody else, like, we just ignore that? Like the thing that came out of the sky and like came down and was hovering. And
we should make stickers that are like the alien head emoji, but like wearing a crown of thorns. It'd be so blasphemous, but so like provocative, I suppose.
Anyway, so if we jump into like that reality of aliens coming down and being like, shh, we can't come out and fucking contact you all the time because you guys are fragile and you made your own religion. I think of The Simpsons and Lisa's tooth and the cup of Coke.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, okay, we can't touch them. I don't know, you know.
Everything we do just makes it worse.
Yes.
Every intervention.
But if you ask me why they did that, I go, I don't know. My stupid human brain goes, for energy, they needed us to have souls and recreate each other because I don't know. I don't know.
Like we're a battery? Sort of like the Matrix?
Yeah, and there was like a Rick and Morty episode about that too. Like reality jumping just so that we keep fueling the reality beyond this one to give us energy for that other reality, like a nesting doll. But I don't know. I don't know if it was intentional. It doesn't seem like a mistake. I think that we're too dumb to comprehend it. And I think that that's purposeful because like the couple times that I've tripped my balls off and I've gotten really kind of close to comprehending infinity, like it's like everything shuts down. My whole brain shuts down.
Yeah.
Like I can't even allow.
Look
I'm
no
not even
further
allowed to do that. I remember talking to my social studies teacher he was a veteran, I think a Marine veteran. He was terrified. Nobody wanted him, but him and I vibed because he liked punk rock music and he saw that I was bullied a lot. And I remember talking to him about the vastness of the universe. He goes, do you ever think about what's beyond the blackness of the universe? And I was like, yeah, and I'm only 14 and I hate everything, you know. And he's like, yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Like I can't remember his name, but shout out to that guy.
Shout out to
that social studies teacher who reluctantly took the job and clearly had seen some shit, but was also like somebody that I could connect with.
I mean, the teachers that can reach to you,
they're huge,
are so formative. But to go back to the alien intervention in our historical timeline thing, it like my prevalent thought when that is like being discussed is like, well, isn't that just saying the same thing as God? Right. It's like we don't need to know the reason because there's some higher being that made it like this. And it's like, well, That feels like a limitation in and of itself.
So I think the only reason that I say that is because we give birth and then we have children and then you have to raise a child. So it's like taking that aspect and applying it to whatever is before us. But I always want to know who God fucked in order for us to like, for it to happen.
Yeah.
If the orgasm, I also was thinking about this the other day as I was lying in bed after an incredibly hard day of parenting. I was like, an orgasm is, I have no idea how long, seconds. And it's a burst of pleasure for the shortest amount of time.
Yeah.
That the shortest amount of time for you to want to keep doing it. Right?
Uh-huh.
And then a child, which comes from the orgasm, lasts beyond your death. It's a slingshot. It's a spectrum shot out in the other direction.
It's like a bait and switch.
Yeah. It's the ultimate bait and switch.
It's like, aha, fooled ya. You reproduced.
Psych.
I bet you didn't think that was going to happen, did ya?
Anyways, that garage.
The garage door
opening
has
is our time up.
opened. God bless.
We'll keep thinking about it because we always get into it right at the end. But
I think we should go for 7 hours.
someday, when these kids are in school, baby, it'll be MAWPOD all fucking day.
I'm going to start a pod with Davis. And it's just going to be me talking to Davis and his reactions into the camera. God bless.
You stink. You need a diaper change.
She's a stinky baby.
Thanks,
and
guys,
I love
for joining
her.
us. I'm gonna post all these little chats on the final product because I hate like we read it and I'm like, wait, who said that?
Can we take like a screenshot and put it in the Discord and just respond to it, or carry on the discussion?
I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna figure it out. I'll figure it out.
Cool.
Bye, guys.
Because I can't see it.
Bye.